come on now. Y'all already know what this is. First things first. God did this. Don't get mad with us. I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight, and we got the one man and the only man that can check you into the Heartbreak Hotel, and that's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Look, I'm not even gonna lie. All right, this week was interesting. Raw had some nice, good moments. My man Zach, what is today's national day? National Sausage
What I
Pizza
wanted for
Day.
dinner. Exactly what I wanted for dinner. Pizza. Although I wanted pepperoni and sausage on my pizza.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I got a pizza today. Man, this is good. But I say I got pepperoni. Now I
And
got to
what
get
up,
another one
Zach?
with some sauces on the pause.
Nice to see you already on it. We're dropping the national holiday. Thank you, sir.
As always, man. I always appreciate you watching, Zach. Hey, what's
DJ.
up, DJ? What up? Yeah.
DJ going in with
Man,
the yeah.
yeah. Man, I'm not gonna lie though, but this was actually a pretty good week so far. Raw had some pretty good moments. Of course, NXT Chef Sean cooked it up, but honestly, SmackDown, of course, as well, had a lot of things that kind of got us ready for Crown Jewel. But I ain't gonna lie, this was a pretty good PLE, man. I actually was pretty pretty happy about this, man. I ain't gonna lie. They kicked it off. You gotta stick it. You gotta start it right. If you're gonna start off Crown Jewel, you might as well start it off with that man, Roman Reigns and Big Bronson Tsunami Reed, man. Look, I ain't gonna lie. This is actually a really good match. Now, this was a street fight, which of course we had to see something like this going on that got really crazy. Love the spot, of course, where Roman is getting ready to hit that drive by. But Braun Breaker had a drive by his own with that spear, man. And I ain't gonna lie, that be like, oh, classic. Classic one of those moments. But yeah, this was good, man. Bronson Reed getting the dub over Roman Reigns. I ain't gonna lie, he needed this. This is something that was good. He needed that. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. You beat Roman Reigns, like how they had the Usos coming out, try to help Roman. Now there's a whole little bit of tension between Roman and the Usos, even though it really isn't. Said I love y'all, but I told y'all I got this. I'm doing this on my own. I said, okay, Roman, I feel that. Okay, you back to walking alone. And I ain't talking Batista. But this was good, man. I love the story that they told. I love everything that was going on. This was good for the vision. And of course, this was good for Roman. But mainly, this was good for the vision, and especially for Bronson Reed, man. This is a great match. This is a banger. Honestly, I probably get us a good, a solid, really solid B plus, man. Really solid B plus. Was very entertained. Love the story that they told, and I was satisfied with it. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, good way to kick off Crown Jewel Perth. I was actually happy that they actually went with a Bronson Tsunami Reed victory in this. It was a great night for the Vision, which is really good because you can we talked about this before about them like building exactly what the Vision is and kind of giving us that direction of where Seth is really going to go with this whole Vision thing. And so, having this match with Roman Reigns and having Bronson Tsunami Reed win kind of builds him up in this match as well. It also sets the table for another story being told between Roman Reigns, the original tribal chief, and Jey Uso, who is we've seen devolving as of late into almost, this heelish type of Jey character. No Yeet. So
Nah, facts.
it's getting real interesting. I like to see, how WWE is kind of setting the table for a future story, a future breakdown. We kind of had Roman Reigns hint at that back on Raw, where he said, I see everything, when he talked about who was at the
Mm.
top of the hour, and it was not Jey Uso, and he told him you should be owning the rooms that you're in. And it's kind of giving him that tribal chief knowledge and tribal chief know-how, will, power, swag, whatever you want to call it, that Roman Reigns had to kind of learn and build over, his however long, 12, 13, 14-year career in WWE. And so I like this because you saw Jay had an attitude, and Roman talked about him. What is it? I can tell he doesn't want to take advice from me. And then to have him actually spear Roman Reigns and cause Roman to kind of lose this match. I love how this is kind of is developing here. But the match itself between Roman and Bronson Tsunami Reed, excellent. Of course, we knew with the type of match that it was, you were going to have some involvement from Braun Breaker. So he got to get in there, dish out some punishment. So yeah, great. It was just excellent, excellent, excellent work tonight. Overall between all the matches, but this was a great way to start off Crown Jewel Perth.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think they definitely.
The
Oh,
extra the extra nugget in there is Bronson Tsunami Reed was actually able to get a victory in front of his home crowd. Since
yep.
he is from Australia, and it's it's funny because typically we see wrestlers when they return home, oftentimes, or at least it seems oftentimes that they actually take an L. So he was actually able
Yeah.
to get a W and on a big stage against the OTC in front of his home crowd. So hey, shout out to Bronson Tsunami Reed.
Yeah, man. Way to do it in front of. It was funny too, because even when they did the press conference, there was actually cheering for him for a good little minute. And then he was just like, I don't know if I should even respect any of you fans.
Meanwhile, on the
And
inside, he was going crazy.
yeah.
He was hyped.
He was, and they had him hyped to the point they was calling him OTT for
Uh-huh.
the original
The
tribal theme.
original tribal thief.
OTT, OTT. I said,
Uh,
man, they might have some with this.
yes, sir.
Might. They might. We'll see, man. Let's talk about this next match, man. I ain't gonna lie. They actually kept the ball kind of rolling at this point, and I wasn't even upset about it. Okay. The next match that we had, and this was a banger. Stephanie Valkyrie going up against Tiffany Stratton, man. Look, I ain't gonna lie. I did not want Tiffy Time to win, but I definitely had to see La Primera get that W, man. It was good. This was a good match. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of great spots. Of course, when it comes to the Devil's Kiss, you know how the people go crazy. Ah, ah,
Ah, ah, ah, ah, ah, ah,
ah.
ah.
Come on, man. Ah,
Oh
they go
yes,
crazy.
man.
It's somehow when she's done, it's somehow that little kick that she does
Yeah,
after. It's just very
yeah.
like,
Like I'm done with you.
like, but yeah, man, this was great. Honestly, it's so crazy though. It's like watching this match and seeing, how the crown jewel champion was and seeing how it was. I kept thinking, I was like, man, I wonder how this originally was supposed to go. Because I think about, like with Liv being injured at the time, and she was really the first inaugural the women's crown jewel champion. Then I think about Naomi, and I think, dang man, like what could have been, or who would have actually would have been. Sometimes I really think, honestly, I think originally in my head, like if nobody got injured, nothing, and Naomi didn't get pregnant. I honestly think it was supposed to be Liv versus Naomi at Crown Jewel, and I think Naomi was going to be the one to take that, you know, uh, crown from Liv. I honestly think so, man. I know it sounds crazy, and I know I might be doing a little fantasy booking, but I'm starting to think like that was the original plan, and then this is what we got now, which okay ain't bad, but I do think Naomi was supposed to get that originally. It might have been the plans. Might have been the plans, because I mean, but hey, I can't be the one to say that because I wasn't the man that was in the office when they was writing it down. Just a little thought, just something I thought to myself as I was watching the match. Overall, though, great to see La Primera get it. Crowd went crazy. Crowd was going crazy for Stephanie Valkyrie the night before at SmackDown, which, by the way, was probably one of the best SmackDown episodes they done had in months. That's also a thing I also was questioning. I said, well, why are we always getting the better episodes or the better shows that are overseas? And when it comes to America, we're just getting the same old, same old. I don't know, man. And I thought about that. I said, man, well, what the heck is going on? but they delivered. They over delivered. Love to see La Primera. Love to see Tiffy Time. They gave their all. They left it all in the ring. And honestly, ain't gonna lie, they can do one more match and I'll watch it again. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, I thought these ladies did a great job here. As my girl Naomi would say, Stephanie Vaquer. She killed it. I love Stephanie. I'm happy for her, especially on the year, the year that she has had. It has been a phenomenal year for Stephanie from, just crossing over from NXT into WWE, now being a women's champion, now being the Crown Jewel champion. Just a phenomenal year for just, such a great and talented wrestler that, Stephanie is. And I'm always happy to see Stephanie because you're getting a devil's kiss somewhere in there, and just watching it's just devilish. It's just, and the way the crowd just interacts with it and how they love it and accept it's always funny. And but yeah, these ladies did a great job, and honestly, I don't want to say it was a surprise pick, because I kind of had the feeling that Stephanie would be the person to probably win this. But there was a strong side of me that felt like they would reward Tiffany for the run that she has had as the women's champion for the SmackDown brand. And I know they talked about how many days she's been champion. I think she's already got the record for the longest reigning women's champion. And so she's been having a phenomenal year too. But you put these two ladies together, they actually did, really, really well. Great match, and just happy to see Stephanie, come out on top.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's looking like she's getting a natural proper push. And it seems like, they're striking while the iron's hot. And it's good
Yeah,
how they're doing this. They're seeing the momentum. They're seeing how, how the aura of Stephanie Von
oh
cannot be
yeah,
explained. All you
no,
can just do is look at it.
that
What
aura is over 9,000. Yeah, no, Stephanie, I see Stephanie having a long title reign. I mean, she's definitely a draw. The crowd and everybody is definitely, they're definitely behind her, no matter where she is. If she's on American soil, whether she's over in overseas soil, she's just got it, and it is her aura. It is the aura that she just exudes that really does it. And yeah, she can go, and I see her holding that title for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoot, I wouldn't even be surprised if she had it for a year. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised. She'll probably have it at Mania.
yeah, like right now, I don't know who on the roster is able to really kind of challenge and take her right now. Just because of how talented, how good she is. And just like you said, the aura, that she exudes it's crazy. And I think you're really gonna have to build the next female that's gonna be, ready to challenge and take her. And I'm sure it's probably gonna have to be some type of Rio Ia mix, which I don't know how many fans are excited about another Rhea championship match so soon or whatever, because I know she was taking a lot of heat recently, about always being in the main title picture type of thing. But she's one of those women that's part of that division that just has that aura that can really battle and match a Stephanie Vaquer. And so yeah, it's
70 Velcro.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see like if they can really build and find somebody else, over the next year to like really that's gonna be like a threat to Stephanie Bucker. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, man. Because I don't know. I'm like
I
thinking
don't
about
know.
like
Yeah,
who
I
who
can't
really
think.
could like
Like I said, you're gonna have to go to an Io or a Ripley, but
or
you don't,
Bianca like is
or Bianca. I'm sorry. Hey, forgive me. Hey, forgive me for that blasphemy. I don't know how I forgot Bianca in this. You can't forget the EST. But again, it gets back. But then you start looking at Becky and Bailey, and it gets back to being the same five people over and over and
yeah.
over. And yeah, I feel like you have to. They have too much talent on their roster at this point in time, where they should be able to build and push a new talent. As a prime example, not to get too far down the rabbit hole, one of the weirdest, but ended up being also one of the better matches of the night from Monday Night Raw was the Becky Lynch versus oh my gosh, I just drew that quick.
What
Brain with it from
Maxine Dupree.
Maxine Debris from
Yeah.
and that it started off awkward. The drop kick was a little weird, and because Maxine, she's long, she's lanky, but they gave it time, and that match was awesome. It was phenomenal. And it was like, with WWE not doing as many house shows and things of that nature, you really don't have these opportunities for some of these other wrestlers and talents to kind of hone in on their craft and continue to work on their craft and be able to kind of build that presence with the audience. But this right here, Maxine Dupree did a great job, and it's like, all right, let's say they go on the path of giving these wrestlers like a Maxine Dupree, Mia Yim, or whatever, just these opportunities to get out here and work. You could start to build. You could have, might be bad. You could have a Jey Uso type of thing, where it takes off. The crowd gets behind them and they take off. You know what I mean? So that way you don't have to use the same. You don't have to tap into the same 5 people. And I guess maybe 6, because again, another blasphemy. I can't forget about Charlotte Flair. I mean, like they have the talent. The point is, they have so many talented wrestlers. It'll be nice to see somebody new. And I think that's why it's refreshing with Stephanie Vaquer, is because of the fact that she is she's fresh. She's a fresh face carrying the championship in a division.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So and I do agree, because like we do got a lot of women up in there. Hey, Mr.
Hey,
Exclusive.
Mr. Exclusive, miss you too, sir. We know you're on the grind. Hey,
Yes,
look,
sir.
I appreciate the work you've been doing. I know you following the NFL and you constantly traveling right now. So doing your thing. At least the Commanders are giving you something TV worthy. And and a good reason to miss the show. So hey, we not mad at you. Thanks for checking in, buddy.
As always, man. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They got a lot of women on that roster, and then even from NXT that could possibly be up next and ready. We got JC Jane, there's of course Jada Parker, Lash Legend. There's a lot of women that
Yeah,
are damn near, not even damn near already. You can throw
yeah,
them on that main
yeah,
roster, and you can
yeah.
get some good stories out of them. So
Yeah. And just one last thing on this woman stuff. I'd like to see them actually do more with Julia as well.
yeah,
I love Julia, and I think she is a talent, but it can't be like this. She's carrying the Intercontinental Championship, the US Championship, but you're really, seeing her actually be able to put the title on the line and wrestle. And she's in the spot where you want to see like young and up and coming talents have the floor to be able to showcase themselves, because she's in that mid card title picture. So WWE has some work to do, but it's not hard work because they have the talent there. They just got to find ways to actually get this stuff on television, so that
yeah,
we can have another banger like a Maxine Dupree versus Becky, which again, if you go back and watch that match, it started off a little shaky, but that match, the crowd was on the edge of their seats by the end, and I mean, I was so happy for Maxine. I really was.
yeah, yeah. Me too, man. Yeah, because it's like, again, it's good to see some of the fresher faces, or just seeing some newer faces on there. Like, I enjoy seeing Roxanne Perez. I
Yeah.
enjoy seeing Raquel, but let's not burn them out. Okay, let's utilize them in great ways, so not everybody's being. I think that's the thing. It's just got to be a nice, good cycle to where at least
Yeah.
everybody's getting some shine. I mean, I haven't seen Avi now wrestle in a good little minute now. I'd love to
No, I
see
don't
her
know what's
back
going
in
on
the
with
ring.
Ivy. Yeah, I ain't seen her in a minute. I don't know. She got injured, is she?
No, not that I know of. No, I mean we'll
And
have to find
I
out
don't.
if she is.
And I'm hoping, and not too much longer. I'm hoping that we'll get uh
Chad.
no Alexa, not Alexa Bliss. Oh
Oh,
my God, the
Carmella.
shoulder. She entered the shoulder. We just said her name.
Live.
Oh my,
Live
Liv
Morgan.
Morgan. I'm about to say,
Yeah.
my brain is dying, people. I'm sorry. But yeah, Liv Morgan. Like I'm assuming pretty soon we will have her back. So I know she'll be back in the mix at some point in time as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm hoping soon it kind of turns up. The women,
Yeah.
they got a lot of bodies and a lot of people up in there that can
Yeah.
really put on some great
Yeah.
stuff. So they got to
Yeah.
use them.
WWE's women division is strong, man. That they have a strong women's division.
Yeah, extremely strong. So we gotta put them at the forefront. Let's get it. Okay. Let's talk about this greatness. Okay. This honestly, man, look, I I can't get up here and say this was a B plus. I couldn't sit here and say this was an A minus. Honestly, this was an A and A plus A and A plus A plus AJ Styles. Man, this was a 10 out of 10 match. I loved every single thing about this match, man. This really brought me as a kid. Okay, brought me down memory lane as a child. I love the story that was told. John Cena doing the walls of Jericho. That one touched me. Pause. That one had me right there. I said, come on, John. This is what I'm talking about. That's a good callback. If you're gonna do any move, you need to do the walls of Jericho. Why? That was the first opponent that John Cena had when he went to Raw in '05. John Cena, the reason why Chris Jericho got fired in '05. I mean, he didn't really get fired, but you know, Eric Bischoff fired him. We know what happened with that. Love to see the walls of Jericho. Love how he did Bray Wyatt. Okay. I said, man, you are just going down memory lane. I mean, AJ Styles. I mean, these guys were doing some great moves, great callbacks. Of course, the RKO. I mean, this was great stuff. Tombstone, choke slams. I said, man, y'all are on one for this one. Great match. AJ Styles. Love seeing John Cena. Honestly, my only gripe about this, man, I wish they could have had at least one or two promos together talking about this match. I just only think the only disjustice was that there was like the fact that this wasn't even planned. And it should have been off jump. You seen how people was like they wanted to see the AJ Styles beat up John Cena. I was talking about this since the beginning. I kept saying, why are we not seeing John Cena and AJ Styles? We got the match. We did. And they told that story in the match. I mean, to the point, I guess they didn't even need to do any damn promos because they told the story in the match. That's wrestling right there. The story was told. So I said, you know what? Y'all got it. Next time, well, ain't no next time. Look, John and AJ should have had at least one together, man. But AJ Styles, you wasn't lying when you told everybody that you and John was gonna leave it all in the ring. And you did, man. And it was great. Love to see that. Love to see AJ Styles classic '05, '06 TNA Impact gear. Okay, that's classic. You know what I'm saying? This was good, man. This was so good. And it was funny because those same trunks that he wore was the same trunks he wore back in '06 when he was on the cover of PWI, okay, with those same trunks. And in the article of that magazine, the fantasy book match was to see AJ Styles versus John Cena. That was '05, '06. Come on. You know how they was back in the day. It's crazy I'm saying back in the day. Like, I'm 30, the hell with it. But you know how it was back then, okay? John Cena back in his prime going crazy. AJ Styles going crazy in the X division at the time, going up against Samoa Joe. You know, times when they had matches with Abyss, Kurt Angle. I loved every single thing these men did, man. They went down memory lane with this, and I loved every single thing. I even loved how Alicia Taylor did the announcements. She did John Cena's, and then she did AJ Styles. I love what she said. Uh, uh, Member of a Bullet Club. That made AJ Styles say, oh, I said, yeah, shocked me. Talked about his reign in the Bullet Club. Said how he was Mr. TNA Impact. I said, yeah, there you go. Talk that talk. Can we talk? No, no, this was I love this,
Can
man.
we talk for a minute?
Minute, hey, man, but I loved it, man. They told the story. I mean, I keep saying that, but this was truly one. Well, I really enjoyed to watch. I said this might have been one of my favorite matches that John Cena actually put on. I mean, uh, I could say the match with him and Randy Orton. Yes, I could have said the match with him and CM Punk. Yeah, I could have said that too. I wouldn't say the match with him and Cody. Not one, maybe two at SummerSlam. That's a possibility. I could have talked about the one with him and R-Truth. Maybe. But the main one, I think this was his best match. Yeah, him and AJ Styles. Him and AJ Styles. This was one of those, man, where I said, yeah. See, this y'all didn't even have to say nothing, and people really love this. I think this was just justice to John Cena's tour. I think, again, this is something that should have been on the card. Um, but I'm glad the fact that they got to do it, they got to deliver, and I'm hoping maybe if we do, maybe we might see Edge. I've been seeing some stuff about his contract possibly expiring in AEW, and he might be going to WWE just for this one match to go with Cena. So I would hope so. If that is the case, Edge give us a one and done, and then go back to AEW and kick ass with Christian Cage again. I'd love it either way. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
This match here was a banger after banger after banger. No, this match was a banger. It was A1. Yeah, I loved it. I think that what John Cena has been doing, especially in these last few big matches with all the different callbacks to different wrestlers that he's faced, seen, whatever, in his time, it gives this magic, a little bit of magic feel to what's happening, because this is his last hoorah, but he's bringing out the Skull Crusher finale. He's bringing out, Bray Wyatt's move. He's hitting the punt, or trying to hit the punt with
Yeah.
Randy Orton, but he did do the RKO. Love the Walls of Jericho, but of course, my absolute favorite imitation of the night was the super kick from AJ Styles, tuning up the band one last time. Yeah, I love that. That was just a great match. Those two had great chemistry. And it was just, they delivered magic in the ring for a match that was not heavily promoted, between the two of them per se, with any like major feuding and mic work. But they got in the ring, they understood, each other, and just delivered just a magical match. Like I said, I love little callbacks, and I love the fact that John Cena has been putting those in his matches, and then for AJ Styles to then say, "Well, I see your callbacks, and I'll raise you one," and it's just just good stuff, man. Good stuff. Great. John Cena got his W. And the sad thing is, it's kind of understated, but of course, and it's overshadowed because John Cena is the WWE legend. But AJ Styles, this is his last hoorah too. This is his last run. They announced that 2026 is his last year,
Yeah.
so we got to enjoy seeing AJ Styles, the phenomenal one,
It's like
while
my
we can.
childhood is fading away every day.
Yeah,
I
man.
swear to
It's like
God.
they're all getting ready to start moving out the way for the next generation. But yeah, AJ Styles, he's got 1 year left, so hopefully we get to see a couple more magic moments from him, and maybe some old feuds dug up, some of his better feuds since he's been in the WWE dug up before he goes too. But they did a one hell of a job, and it was my favorite crown jewel match, of the morning, since
Yeah, right.
of the morning.
Nah, yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, this is probably my favorite match of the morning for sure. Um, yeah, again, told the story. I had no problems with it. I loved everything they did. Didn't botch up, didn't mess up. These guys again left it all in that ring, and they showed out. Kudos to y'all, man. For real. Props to y'all, 100%. Let's talk about this next match, man. I ain't gonna lie, this one was a little crazy. This one was a little, first of all, the build up to this was a little interesting. Okay. Even from the last few storyline, the last few weeks we've seen kind of this story build up. And honestly, it was good. Okay, it was good to see Rhea and Io get this dub. Of course, this was one of those where, I ain't gonna lie. I'm actually a little shocked that two people from Australia actually got the dub tonight. Because, sometimes if you got more than one person from that hometown, one gonna win it, one gonna lose it. But the fact that both of y'all won, hey, I'm proud of y'all regardless. But yeah, man, love what they did. Asuka and Kyrie Sane, love what they did. By the way, the press conference, they was wilding. I don't know what the hell was going on. But I mean, at one point, it was about maybe a minute, 2 to 3 minutes. It was just screaming, Baga! 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 I said, what is going on? Oh man. But yeah, they over delivered with
You're an
this.
idiot. No, you're an idiot. No, you're an idiot.
Baga! 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 I said, what? Michael Cole looked so confused. I said, man, what craziness, man. It was just crazy. But yeah, they over delivered with that match. Definitely give it a B plus. Love what they did. Love seeing what EO Sky is doing. Love to see what Rhea's doing. And honestly, like seeing Oscar as his heel. I ain't mad with it. I like how they trying to do this whole anime thing. I like they trying to do the whole senpai and the whole, this was you are her master. And I was like, all right, I get it. We can go that route for a little bit, but let's not dig too deep. We know this is already obvious, but let's kind of dig a little bit more than just the student and the teacher kind of situation, just for their culture. Let's talk a little bit more. Let's give a little bit more context. Okay. Let's do a little more. But again, love the match. I love what they did. Not mad about it. Not surprised. I figured they would win this anyway. But I'm very curious to see what happens next for Rhea and what happens next for Io Sky. Because honestly, at this point, man, I mean, especially for Io Sky, I mean, it's either you're probably going to keep having this feud, which I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't even be surprised if this goes all the way to Mania for these women. So we'll see what happens with it. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, these ladies did a great job. Like we said, or mentioned just a minute ago, the whole anime vibe that you get on the Oscar side of things, Kairi Sane, but the centipede that I love what Oscar's been doing. I love the centipede thing that she has going on. It reminds me of an anime, Tokyo Ghoul Re. If you know, you know,
Wow.
with Kaneki. I'm digging this. I love this character or this heel like feel that Asuka has been doing it and killing it on. But the match with these ladies, what this tells me, or what this seems to me to be, is the buildup of a tag team between Rhea and Io, and I feel like we're getting the next contenders for the tag team championships to challenge Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. That's what I feel like is coming from this. It's the I can't beat them, join them. The whole Rhea hasn't been able to beat Io, and now they've teamed up, and now they're becoming friends, and yeah, they're a tag team, and I don't know. That's just where I see this going. I could be wrong, but I think they are putting the laying the tracks for something like this, which is great because it'll give Charlotte and Alexa Bliss a good challenge for their tag team titles. So yeah, but these ladies that of course you couldn't expect them to deliver a bad match. I mean, it's too much talent between these ladies. And so, of course, they were going to go out and deliver. And I definitely agree. It was a great match. I give it a nice B plus as well. I thought everybody, did their thing in this match. And Perth overall, the Crown Jewel Perth overall was actually just a good PLE, a solid PLE. Every match delivered, and yeah, they killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, man, they really did. I was actually very happy about this. I said, you know what? Even though WrestlePalooza was what it was, this is what y'all should have started off with. This would have made people like, all right, y'all got something. Because y'all really did, man. Y'all delivered with this. I'm actually I'm actually happy that these guys actually delivered the way they did. I think they really stirred up and started hot even on SmackDown, man. That's why I said SmackDown really, I think that set the tone for how this morning really went. Because again, a lot of people were saying, and I agree that last night's SmackDown was probably the best SmackDown episode we have seen in months. Seeing Selena Vega join Aleister Black. You seen Jacob Fatu telling, the man with the magic boot telling Cody he up next for that. Yada, I mean, I said, come on, Jacob. That's how you get for it, okay? That's what I'm talking about, okay? I love this. But yeah, SmackDown was great. I think, and that's I felt like that was the momentum that they needed to kind of continue on for this morning. And honestly, I would not be surprised if Raw's going to follow up with a banger. Now, I only hope that we're not going to be seeing just this greatness for this weekend and for Monday, and then we go back to the same old thing next week. All right, let's keep this train rolling. Maybe Triple H is like, all right, y'all trying to get rid of me. Y'all trying. All right, bet. Now I'm about to tap into the bag. I hope so. I hope so, Trip. I hope you in your bag. I hope you into the time right now when you're saying, you know what? I'm tired of these people trying to play me. I'm hoping you thinking, let me show them what I'm really about. I hope so, Trip, because we know what you can do. So if this is what you did today, hey, I'm proud of you. It's about damn time, Trip. You're getting back to what you know, doing greatness. Get back to it. We know you can do it, man. Just come on. This was great. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, Trips. The chef would have been proud of you for this one. Ah, you know how the chef do, though. The chef a little different. Trip, one day you can get there when you start delivering on a consistent basis like Sean and Tony. But when you get there, Trip, hey, I'll give you that chef's hat. I'll let you know when you got it. You got to give me more. Pause. Give me some more of this, man. Keep delivering how you're doing like this, and we can get better. We can get better again. Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this one, man. This I ain't gonna lie. This was a very emotional match here. I felt like Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, facing off for that men's crown jewel champion. And honestly, I actually really, I thought this was a good match. I thought this really was. I'm actually surprised. I think my thing is I'm not surprised on the outcome. I'm more surprised that the Vision didn't even come out to help Seth. I think that's what I'm surprised at. I said, okay, so y'all don't give a damn. But it's not even the fact that they didn't give a damn. It's the fact that Seth said, nah, I got this. And it didn't do much. Not too much. I feel like a lot of the offense Seth was giving was really good. Really good offense. I thought Cody was killing it as well. But I love how, it tied in to why the hell Seth kept looking at this damn watch for weeks. Weeks. I mean, he was just every time you see him, he was just staring at it. So I like how he played into that. You stared at to the watch that he got you after WrestleMania 40. And then now you took that same watch after the ref done got, hit, whatever. And that was a good solid hit he got on Cody too. I said, oh, that's good. That's nasty. Pause. I was like, okay, that's good. And I like how Michael Cole didn't mess this one up like he did when John Cena was trying to beat the hell out of Cody with his watch. Talking about some brass knuckles. Come on, Mike. That's a watch. What are you doing? But this was a watch. And I like how he did that. I like how he played that into the factor, into the case how that worked for him to win the match. And it wasn't too much. It wasn't like you had the Vision come, attack, spear Cody, Bronson, tsunami. It wasn't all of that. Nah, it was Seth did all the work himself. And I think that is what made this a little bit better. This solidified more of the fact to where I don't need the Vision right now. This is why Paul Heyman chose me. This is why I'm Seth freaking Rollins. This is why I'm the Monday Night Damn Messiah. I don't give a damn. I don't know why we not bringing that moniker back. I need the music. No, man, but yeah, I love how they did that. And I think that was the story that's kind of told in that situation. What I will say is this. That video package that they set up for that match, I said, man, this is I was kind of a little upset. I said, this is something you should have saved for Mania. If we was gonna do anything, this should have been for Mania. Because the way they told that, I love the story. Like I was like, damn, y'all really, y'all cooked with this. But it's one of those was like, oh, how would this feel now if if they ran this back? Now it's gonna be like, well, Seth's 3-1. I think that we could have saved this one for Mania for a title. I felt like that would have felt a little bit more. But we're not on that type of time for Seth because we know how Seth is gonna go. It's gonna be with Roman CM Punk, how that whole thing goes. Hell, LA Knight, yeah, Jey Uso, yeah, we got about 5 people in that pool. So however Cody's moving, might be the man with the magic boot. We'll see how that goes. But I love this. This was all good. I'm glad that Seth got this. I think this also solidifies a little bit more. Now you got that ring on you. You got that crown jewel ring. Somebody, you get that ring on you. It hits a little different. You know what I'm saying? You see how MJF is. Okay, we got that diamond. Okay, some about it. That boy go crazy. Okay, and I hope the same thing for Seth. Go crazy since you got that crown jewel ring. Some about that greatness with that pinky make you feel like Dr. Evil. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Dr. Evil is insane. Um, no, I thought this was another good match. Great way to end the night for a match that I definitely wasn't even really that excited for. I was like, I'm really not excited to see a Cody Seth Rollins match, but the match itself was actually really good. We got a super Cody cutter. We got a super curb stomp. So like, yeah, they went for it all. And I do like the fact that Seth Rollins was able to win this match without outside interference, even though it was by hook or by crook. No problem, no problem. He's the Vision. He's a little heelish. He's a little devilish, and so he did what he had to do. But he got the W without all of the constant normal interference that we get in these things. And it also sets up with this whole thing of like, they were trying to ask Seth Rollins, or I believe Cody was trying to tell Seth Rollins about who really runs the Vision, who's really making the calls, who's really making the decisions. And Seth kind of just proved he okays everything and runs everything, and that the Vision is firmly behind him and what he says, because he said he didn't want any interference. He had to do it on his own, and he did it again by hook or by crook, but he did it. We didn't get a Bronson Reed or Bronson Tsunami Reed or Braun Breaker, and I like that. I like that. Just like I like what they did with Dirty Dom when Dirty Dom was able to beat Rusev without the Judgment Day's interference. Like, I you get used to seeing people when they're in these factions, their like counterparts come out all the time and interfere in the matches, and it gets old because it's like, look, he's the champion. I want to see him win on his own or do it on his own. Like, I don't mind if he wins by some cheap method, but let it be done without the extra stuff where it's like, oh, this was a great match, ended on a DQ, or oh, it's a great match, but the other characters in the faction came in and had to help him. So I like this when stuff like this happens because it's a little refreshing. And the fact that you played into the whole watch thing that Seth has been doing for like the last 3 weeks or so, and use that to, in just a diabolical way to win the match. Great stuff. They did a good job. And then, of course, Seth being Seth, snatching the mic at the end and talking his ish about, being the world heavyweight champion and this, that, and the other. Just a great way to kind of finish it all. I also want to say he definitely won swag of the night with that ring gear
Come
coming
on,
down to
bro.
the ring. Yeah, that ring gear was it was something tough. And I believe Michael Cole said it was a combination of
Yeah.
gear from all
All the
3
gear.
matches that they put
Yes.
together like that.
Bruh.
That gear was tough. That was tough.
Yeah, because it was from WrestleMania 38,
Yep.
which my opinion was probably still one of my favorite. And it's
Favorite.
not too much from stuff, but it was just a black. It was like
Yeah.
that. It was either blue or black. The black coat that he
Yeah.
had, the
Yeah.
fur with the
Yeah.
blue. I said, nah, this joint. This is tough. But to see that, and then he had the little polka dots, and
Yep.
then
Yeah.
he
The
had
polka
the
dots,
the, the same one that he had when he
those
faced that
stripes, zebra
backlash.
stripes. Yeah.
Yeah, I said, nah, this is tough. I
He put
like.
that. They killed it. He killed whoever did his ring design gear or ring gear design. They killed it.
Yeah. That is like the story was told in his gear, damn near
Yeah,
from that. And I
yeah,
like how they did that too.
yeah.
So yeah,
Because he
it
took
was
that
good
off,
stuff.
and then he had on just the watch, and he was looking at it even then. Like,
Just
yeah, it just, yeah.
just kept
What
looking
time
at
is
it.
it? Yeah.
Stephanie, no, it was done.
Now that's Stephanie Baker time right there,
Stephanie,
boy. Stephanie Baker.
but yeah, man, this was good though. I honestly was, I was really satisfied watching this, man. I ain't gonna lie, this was a good one. I think they, everybody's story was told. I don't think they did too much. I think the build for every single match was good. Of course, I said that, but AJ Styles and John Cena, but that was one of those that actually didn't need the build, and it showed in the match that they had. So yeah, I think they delivered in so many
Did a
ways.
good job. They did, yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely did.
Yeah. They definitely did, man. So shout out to y'all. Y'all killed it out there, Perth. And I'm looking forward to see how Raw's gonna be, man. I'm hoping it's gonna be a banger. I hope they continue with this and keep it rolling. And hopefully we're gonna see a lot of greatness coming from these guys. Man. But as always, please make sure y'all follow all of our social medias. Man, I tell y'all this all the time. Y'all know what it is. Facebook, we on that. X, we on that. Instagram, we on that. TikTok, on that as well. And we also appreciate all the love and support y'all been giving us. We are very close to getting to 200 subscribers, and we're getting very close to getting 500 followers on TikTok. So we always appreciate the love and support. Again, we are extremely, or like my guys off of Torso would say, we're eternally grateful okay, for everything you guys are, doing, showing the love and everything, man. We really do appreciate it. Honestly, man, I couldn't be more than thankful for everybody that, whether you guys reach out, whether you guys, send a shout out like my man Pan on TikTok a while ago. Again, we appreciate every single thing you guys really, show the love for. So we're more than grateful. And of course, you keep doing that. You keep liking, keep subscribing, you keep, being in the comments, and we're gonna keep giving you that content the exclusive way. Come on, man, y'all already know what this is. Oh man, but we talked about a lot of great things that happened with today's PLE at Crown Jewel Perth. We talked about what's going on with Rhea, with Io. We talked about what happened with John Cena, AJ Styles, that monumental, legendary match. We talked about what happened with Cody, Seth with that watch. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we talked about what happened with the Tribal Chief and the Tribal Thief.
Hey.
And we had to talk about La Primera.
Ah, 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 ah. Oh,
Greatness out of them,
yes,
man.
man.
Greatness out of those guys, man. But as always, I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. And we had the one man and the only man that's going to check you into the Heartbreak Hotel, and that's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Because we on the
Tuning up the
exclusive
band.
nights. Come on now. Hey. No.
Ah, 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 ah. Mm.
Because we on the exclusive nights, and we always ensure that we are the best there
Best
is,
there is,
the best there
best there
was,
was,
and the best that
best
ever
there ever
will
will be.
And to ensure that your nights will
Will
never
never
be the
be
same.
the same.
Y'all be good.
Enjoy your sausage pizza. Peace.